Tigers, Bulldogs, Saints. Welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Hey, good morning and welcome to DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance, coming to you from the confines of the basement or cafe area of Smithfield First Baptist Church. Tom Duggan alongside Kelly Piper and the coach Chris Vance, Daniel Leslie, our producer. Casey's got the Rona bug. And LaVonda won't let him do anything.
Hitler.
Yeah, he's been under house arrest, and I think he's been under like bedroom arrest. LaVonda won't let him out of the room.
Well, I guess because she's got 3 other kids, and she doesn't want them to get sick and have to be out of school next week.
He was getting a little cabin fever yesterday. He did mention he might go around licking some doorknobs once he was able to get out of. I'm afraid he's gone Jack Nicholson in The Shining on us. But you said you thought he was out.
I thought
cleaning.
I saw him out there blowing off the parking lot, but that's outside and he's not around anybody. So
Okay, well, if he comes in, we've got a chair way down on that end of the table because none of us want to get the Rona bug.
No. That could have been Chad out there.
it could have been. I don't know. I mean, they had a toboggan on, and I didn't go look. I didn't have my glasses.
I mean, Chad put up with an awful lot last week, so it could be him out there, and we don't need to give Casey that credit.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to give him credit where credit is not due. But Casey, if you're watching, we do hope that you're feeling better and get back and be with us just as soon as you possibly can. Light show in terms of guests today. We may have guests pop in. I don't know because everything was kind of based upon what happened last night. I'm very excited to report the Tiger basketball team, the number 6 seed in the district tournament. You can call it an upset as they knock off third-seeded White County 55-50. We're going to touch on that a little bit later. I'm going to save that for the next segment and kind of get into that game a little bit more. We got a couple of things we do want to mention right out of the gate. And I want to mention the DeKalb County High School football ham breakfast that's going on at the county complex till 10 o'clock. I'm going to get that out now because you got about 57 minutes to get out there. And we got some breakfast here that we bought out there this morning, and ham, eggs, gravy and biscuit, hash rounds. They've got drinks, and just go out there and help support the Tiger football team if you're hungry. It's a great way to get you. You don't have to cook, and that's good stuff. You know, it take you 30 minutes to cook all that, right?
And then you got to clean it up.
So you don't even have to clean it up. They'll give you a plastic or foam container. Do they even allow those styrofoam things anymore? Has the government not outlawed those yet?
I really wish they would. Like it cringe. I'm one of these people. I don't like waste. I don't like to. We have it. I mean, no, but it cringes me at school when we have the disposable trays when somebody's out, and I'm like, oh, that's so much trash.
But anyway, you don't have to do dishes, all that stuff. So go out and help support the football team. It's $10 for the breakfast. It's well worth it because you get a plate full of food and get your day off to a good start. If you're watching what you're eating, no problem. Do what I'm going to do. I'm going to the gym after the show, so you can go and get a little exercise and work it off. It's going to be 40 today, so that's plenty warm to get out and work.
Heat wave.
Yeah, man. Consider what it's been all week. It's going to be great. So please do get out and support the ham breakfast. Also, while we're talking about events, and I know typically we do this later in the show, but we got something we're going to do at the bottom of the hour that I want to talk about if we don't have guests here in a moment. So I'm doing a little housekeeping now. The baseball's annual chili supper and live auction is also coming up on a Friday. That's this upcoming Friday, the 28th, and thankfully final day of February, and that'll be at 5:30 at the county complex. Going out there and get a bowl of chili with all the fixings. They will have plenty of auction items for you to bid on. Tickets are $10 a piece, and you can get those tickets from any baseball player or call 615-464-0703. Fundraisers, this is what makes our sports go, y'all. I mean, I know people complain about, somebody's always hitting me up for money, but I mean, it's part of it. And this really helps our student athletes get uniforms, get things that they need to be able to have success on the field and on the court. Coach, you know a lot about it. You've been on the coaching side of it.
I do. I know that Steve Haynesworth Golf, he got a sponsor, a very prominent golfer through DeKalb County, and that sponsor anonymously gave money to cover like uniforms, anything that they may need along those lines. And it wasn't it was a lot of money, but it didn't go a long way. Is what I'm trying to say. And so when I took over, I started having fundraisers to where I didn't have to do that for one individual to do the lump sum. And I tried to do it where it wasn't so much businesses as it was individuals. We're going to have a golf tournament.
Yeah.
And if you want to play and participate and contribute to you could do that.
Sure.
Football back then, I was told we could not have the banners that are up around the fences on all these places you go to now. But it was just, you could not do it. I think Steve Trapp's done a remarkable job with his fundraising.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, he built their new field house with money that they earned, that they raised. Zero money, as far as I know, from the county and all that. All they had to do was get permission for that. So it's come a long ways. It used to be that you could only have 2 fundraisers per sport.
Mm-hmm.
But your fundraising, your booster club, whatever, could have as many as they wanted.
Yeah.
And so there's kind of a thin line on that. But it's hard, and coaches hate doing that part of it.
Yeah, it is a lot of stress on the coach. And Kelly, you've been around the game on both sides as well, so you know about it as well.
I can remember when I coached at Smith County, every year I was told you have to have enough. You have to take the games that you're going to play, the home games you're going to play, and you have to have that much money in your account before you can buy anything. That much amount has to stay in there. And of course, we played kind of like what DeKalb did. We played at a public park. You were at the mercy of who would pay to get in, and your gates is the only way that you earned any money besides doing fundraisers. And when you're a spring sport, such as baseball, and I'll plug baseball big time because they don't draw the crowds that football does, because they only have maybe 18 kids on the team. Well, football's got 48 kids, so there's that many more parents coming. And then you have the other team is the exact same way. They have 48 kids, and they're bringing an average of 2 people per. You can have huge gates with football. Plus, you only play on Friday nights, so it's something to kind of do with your spring sports and your non-major sports like golf. It's really hard. You have to be at the mercy of parents that are willing to do things and your community supporting it. And, I challenge DeKalb County to get out there and support those teams because that's your kids. That's your future leaders of this community. If you support, then they will support when they get older. So it's hard on these coaches. You don't just get to coach. You also have to be a fundraiser.
We can look at Grant James, and he's our title.
Mm-hmm. And
he wants to promote and contribute money to the local sports.
Yes.
Think about his business. Most of it's going to come locally. I'm sure he's got some outside the county business, but for the most part, it's within the county. And if he can support those institutions, then he's going to benefit.
Absolutely. So do all you can. Get out and help these student athletes. Again, you got till 10 o'clock. You still got a good while to get out to the county complex. Even if you don't want to eat breakfast, go out there and give them $10. I mean, what will you waste $10 on today? Think about it.
Hey, it's kind of when I first started teaching, I had to drive to Smith County and listen to the radio. And Jerry House used to be the guy, and he did the St. Jude's Radiothon.
Yeah.
And I've been teaching 21 years. This is my 21st year. I've been given $20. And I'm not saying this for me. I've been given $20. It just comes directly out of my checking account for 20 years. And I don't miss it. I mean, I know people, you don't miss it. If you just give to these programs, you're not going to miss it. Nowadays, it's a cup of coffee or one of them fancy drinks somewhere. And you don't realize what you're doing for kids. Some kids, yes, their parents pay for it and can do. Some kids can't, and especially with the football program, they do carry a lot of kids, and I know I bus a lot of the kids to school every day. So I mean, give to these programs. These kids need your support.
We need to do a sports-a-thon of some kind. That would be a lot of fun, raise some money to help out these programs. We'll have to get creative and come up with something, but I know people get tired of getting hit up over and over again for money. Businesses, they get hit up all the time, I know, for money, but it really does go. When you start thinking about the kids and what it's giving them to do, it's giving them opportunities for some of them. It's going to give them a college education because, somebody's going to say, hey, you're good enough to come play here at this school. We want to give you a college education.
It gives them life education.
Yes, absolutely.
Responsibility, teamwork, getting along with people that you may not just want to be around, all the things that you need, life skills that they can carry on for life. Also, they might pour back into the youth as they get older. They're gonna, they're gonna have kids. They're gonna pour back into what's been poured into them. They will pour out to other people.
You mentioned Grant James. Look at him. He came through, played basketball for DeKalb County, played golf, was on a state tournament team. Had a pretty successful high school athletic career, got a college degree. He's back home. He's a business owner, and he's giving back. I mean, that's what you got to look at as well. Down the road, a lot of these kids now, they're going to come back and be business owners one of these days, and they're going to want to give back because you took time to give to them, and you got to think about it from that perspective too. That one of these days, it's going to mean a lot to them that somebody took time to pay for a $10 breakfast to help support what they do. Next Saturday, speaking of, it won't be it won't be a fundraiser. We'll be at Youth Baseball's car show. I guess it is a fundraiser.
It's a fundraiser for baseball, youth baseball.
My eggs are scrambled this morning, and I ate scrambled eggs on top of that.
Better than being fried.
Definitely so. But next Saturday morning, we will be at DeKalb Christian Academy. I call it the old Pomida building, if you don't know where that's at. And some people are like, what was Pomida?
Out by TG&Y.
Out by TG&Y.
That's how old I am.
Oh, man. TG&Y and Pizza Inn and Smithville Food Center. Anyway, we'll be out there from 9 to 11 during our show. Next Saturday, DeKalb Youth Baseball is putting on a car show, and they're doing registration live that day. If you haven't had a chance to sign up for DeKalb Youth Baseball, of course, you can go online and do that. But if you want to do it in person, come out next Saturday. If you've already signed up, come out anyway. If you love vintage automobiles, come out and be part of it. If you have a vintage automobile, come out and be part of it. If you just want to watch us sit and talk about nothing, come out and be part of it. So we're going to start our spring sports previews next Saturday morning. We'll have the guest lineup announced later on in the upcoming week. But we're going to start that. We're going to be part of all the action going on at the car show, and I'm hoping for good weather. We know once March rolls around, weather can be quite bipolar, and we've seen enough of that in February.
I just checked, 3658. I will be inside one of those vintage cars with the heater going if it contains heat. It may not have the ability
I got one of those
heat.
propane heaters from baseball.
Great.
So.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, just bundle up. It's not going to kill. 58 will be high. We'll be there kind of morning time, but 9 to 11.
I got a bubble too. In the bubble.
I'm just praying for no rain or no snow or any other kind of things falling from the sky, birds or whatever. But 9 to 11, we will be there. I think the car show in its entirety is actually 9 to 11, and we're going to be there for the duration of that. Coming up next Saturday, again at DeKalb Christian Academy, South Congress Boulevard. It's out again where the Pomida building. I think wasn't even Roses at one time.
Yeah, it was Roses.
Maybe
across from Liberty State Bank.
There you go, across from Liberty State Bank. So. Come be with us for that and help out DeKalb Youth Baseball next Saturday. All right, again, if we have guests come in, we're going to get them on. I don't expect, because I know the boys were having a shoot around this morning. We contacted Coach Alley about possibly getting some of the girls players. Didn't hear back from her, so I don't even know if she got the message. But if anybody happens to come in, we're definitely going to get them on. But if not, next segment, we're going to talk about the Tigers' win in the district tournament. We'll give you the outlay for the remainder of the tournament. And then at the bottom of the hour, I did a post on Facebook. And not sure, I know some of our Blitz followers out there did pick up on it because we've got some response. But if you go to the Blitz page, we're going to have a topic I think is going to be fun. And some kudos to Luke Willoughby, who actually tagged us in this with this idea yesterday. Who would be on your DeKalb County Sports Mount Rushmore? Now, I want names of people, I don't, or players, coaches, contributors, but 4. Who would be your top 4? Your DeKalb County Sports Mount Rushmore. Who would it be? That's a lot to think about. I spent a lot of time thinking about that last night and this morning as well. We'll talk about that. We've got several people who have chimed in. If you'll go to that post and put a comment on there, give us your ideas, who you think, and we'll read some of those, of course, on the air. I'm excited about that, again, coming up at the bottom of the hour. But right now, we're going to squeeze in a break here, and we're going to come back and talk some basketball. This is DC Blitz. We're presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. They can help out with all your business, auto, home, life, or Medicare insurance needs. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.dekalbinsurance.net. Tell them I sent you, and as always, go Vols.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
There's nothing like homegrown. Around here, nothing grows better than local businesses and families. It's because starting on common ground makes things just shoot up. Just look at those neighborhoods and business districts. Around here, it's always growing season.
At First Bank, we share your hometown and your love for our community. That means you get down-to-earth local lenders who get down to business faster. First Bank. Bank local, get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Smithville's brand new hair experience is the Hairloom, located at 107 West Main Street, in the heart of downtown. At the Hairloom, we believe that every client deserves exceptional service and personalized care. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, a stunning color, or a rejuvenating facial, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at the Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Do you ever get tired of long waits at the corporate pharmacy? Well, let me introduce you to your hometown hero, Johnny's Drugs. Located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Our team knows your name and understands your needs because we're not just a pharmacy, we're your neighbors. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
When you've been in business for over a quarter century, you know you're doing something right. And they've been doing things right at Kilgore's Restaurant since 1997. When you ask people around town about the best place to eat, you can bet the name Kilgore's will be mentioned. From their amazing chicken to juicy steaks, fresh fish, succulent shrimp, hearty burgers, or flavorful pork chops, Kilgore's is something for everyone. Don't forget their hot bar at lunchtime, Mondays through Fridays, then bring the family back for dinner. They are open from 10 until 9 Mondays through Thursdays and 10 until 10 on Fridays. If you're on the go, you can phone in your order at 615-215-8249, then pick it up at their convenient drive-through window. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home.
At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, we understand that this life is a journey filled with highs and lows. Just as every game has its final whistle, so too does every life have its final moment. When that time comes, Love Cantrell Funeral Home would love the opportunity to earn your trust. We provide compassionate care and professional services to fit your family's financial needs. Whether you're celebrating a life well lived or finding comfort in the time of sudden loss, we're here to support you every step of the way. Love Cantrell Funeral Home has been a proud sponsor of all DeKalb County athletics for over 65 years. Love Cantrell Funeral Home, where love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
Want a mower that's tough enough to break all the rules? Want everything without sacrificing anything? Want performance for the long haul at an unbeatable value? The perfect balance of power and performance? You want a bad boy mower. Packed with power, muscle, simplicity, and comfort the pro and you demands. It's your time. You deserve a bad boy. Bad Boy Mowers. Mow with an attitude. Find your big boy mower at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. This morning is our final show of the 13-week basketball season edition of DC Blitz. Next Saturday, March 1st. I just love the sound of March, even though, like I said, it's bipolar weather-wise. It's going to start our spring sports edition. Now, we are offering... And I got to do this. I got to talk about this and should have in the first segment before we get into basketball. But we're going to be starting our spring sports coverage. Now, we're guaranteeing 10 weeks of DC Blitz. There could be more than that. That will take us through May 3rd. So if the teams are still playing after that, we obviously will have more editions of the Blitz. But we are selling advertising packages for 10 weeks guaranteed of DC Blitz and a guaranteed 5 live games, and we're hoping for more. We're actually hoping to do at least one game a week throughout the spring sports season, and that will be rotating between, DeKalb baseball, the Tiger baseball, West School baseball, softball program, soccer, a little bit of everything. I don't know that we could do tennis. We might, you could probably watch it. I don't know if us commentating on it would be all that interesting. But anyway, we're going to guarantee at least 5 games. So we've got some packages available. And I've already sent it out to all of our existing sponsors. So if you're an existing Blitz sponsor, please check your email, because if you're like me, you might go several days and not even look at your email. But we've already had some respond. We appreciate that. DeKalb County Insurance back on board. They're going to be title sponsor for both the Blitz and for our live game coverage for the spring sports season. So we're very excited about that. So you're looking at a minimum of 15 broadcasts during the spring between DC Blitz and live game coverage. So if you'd like to be part of that, again, we don't charge outrageous amounts for advertising. We're just trying to make enough money to upgrade our equipment, keep things going with the DC Blitz, and we're going to have a break, of course, for the summer months, just like school. But when we come back in the fall, we're hoping that we're going to be able to build things up even bigger and better and have some surprises for you coming up in the fall. So every advertising dollar does go, and I know I was talking about fundraising, and that's part of what we're having to do too. And the Blitz is really taking off, and it's because of the viewers and the sponsors out there who have just gave us so much tremendous support since we started back in August. So if you'd like to sponsor, you can reach out to us through Facebook. Send us a message on our DC Blitz page there. You can also email us, dcblitzsports@gmail.com. That's dcblitzsports@gmail.com. We have several packages to offer. You can sponsor the Blitz. You can sponsor the Blitz and the games. You can sponsor the games only. You can sponsor half a season of the Blitz.
You can sponsor Kelly.
You can sponsor Kelly. We will put stickers on her, decals. We are not above and beyond doing something to help raise money to make DC Blitz better. So I did want to throw that out there. We're doing this upcoming week, getting everything ready for spring sports. So please reach out if that's something your business may be interested in. And again, we're trying to cater this to local small businesses as much as we can, because it's expensive to advertise out there. I know that. I've been in this business a long time, and we're trying to make it manageable so we can help you, and it will definitely help us. So reach out and let us know.
And we need those two to connect and hook up. We need our viewers to really support
our sponsors. Absolutely. So, and I've actually heard from sponsors that, they saw their ad on DC Blitz. That makes me feel great, because that means our sponsors are seeing what we're doing, and they're going into a business, and hey, thank you for sponsoring this program, because I watch it and I love it. And we appreciate that. So, if you go by DeKalb County Insurance, or go into Kilgore's, or stop by Johnny's Drugs, or any of our other sponsors, just say, hey, you know what? Thank you for sponsoring DC Blitz. We watch and we enjoy it. And thank you. And a lot of these people I'm talking about, they don't just sponsor our program. They love and sponsor and support DeKalb County Sports, and I think that's even more important than supporting our program. So we thank them absolutely for that. All right. Enough begging and pleading and all that. If I had a hat, we'd pass it, but we don't. So
we can go upstairs and get the offering plate.
We could take one of these styrofoam containers.
We'll email it to you, the offering plate. Let's talk some basketball, y'all. How about our DeKalb County Tigers last night? This game started so wild, okay, because DeKalb came out. They looked great. They got off to a 7-0 run to start this game against White County. Other than Upperman, White County was probably playing as well as anyone in the district. Eric Mitchell, in fact, with their finish down the stretch, that earned him Coach of the Year honors in the district. Just goes to show you how well they were playing down the stretch. But White County came back, and they scored 13 unanswered points to close out the first quarter, and I'm thinking, okay, we're in trouble, because of just how well they've been playing. But the Tigers, they battle back. They come out, they tie this game up at 24 at the half. They led the majority of the second half of this basketball game, and it was like big shot after big shot. They went up 10. White County came back, made it 2. And then you got Seth Fuson hitting a big 3. You got Dallas Kirby going to the free throw line, just hitting some huge free throws. How much did we harp on free throws during that one game where they struggled so much? And look how well they've done since then.
And it wasn't this the team that we missed all the free throws against. Am I correct?
That is correct. It was White County.
And I said in that game, we win this game if we hit our free throws. So they hit their free throws. But I'm looking here at the scoring. And when you can have Dallas with 16, Parker with 11, Houston with 10, you've got your 3 seniors, and they all contributed double digits. So right there, I mean, I know Coach AG talks about getting to 60 first, but when you can have balanced scoring like that, and then you have, John and Porter come in with 6 points, and you have some others contributing, that look for me, let's see, that's 7 people scoring. And they usually play like maybe 1 or 2 more people. They got scoring from everybody that touched the floor, it looks like. So, I mean, when you can have that as a coach, that's just, I mean, that's better than 60 in my opinion, because you've got balanced scoring. You've got, everybody contributing. And what it is when they stop one person, Dallas didn't have he had a huge game of 16 points, but he didn't have a huge game of scoring like he did the last time, but Seth and Parker picked up for that. And so that's awesome that they did that.
I didn't even mention Porter hit some big free throws down the stretch as well. He played a lot of minutes for DeKalb County last night. Freshman, he's contributed this year, but he was into the flow of the game, and Coach Agee has a good feel on who's hot, who to keep out there. And Porter had, again, down the stretch, White County's looking to foul. You don't want to put Jordan Parker on the line, most likely. Seth Houston on the line. Dallas has just been playing out of his mind lately. He hit some big free throws. But then you get Porter, the freshman, walked up there like it's, no big deal, and hit some big ones as well. 37 of the team's 55 points came from the 3 seniors, Coach. And I think they went into this game with a bit, and I think Sheila Kirby was the one online, posted something I saw last night about the boys really had a chip on their shoulder going into this game. And I think the 3 seniors said, you know what, we're not ready to go home yet in basketball. 37 of the 55, they came ready to play last night.
I hope the chip on their shoulder wasn't directed towards us because of all the free throws we talked about the last time out. I think your wild card here is Seth Houston. He is a senior. He's not the senior or the player that we talk about the most. John Hendricks probably gets more mention than what Seth does. But Seth is the off guard, and a lot of times has to handle the point guard situation. I think he's probably on the floor more for his defense than his offensive capabilities. He does have the ability to hit the three-point shot. I mean, that was his thing as a freshman and a sophomore coming up. Obviously, I think he's improved his free throw shooting a little bit, but for him to notch 10 points in this game that you probably don't expect from Seth Houston, and they won by 5, and so I look to Seth Houston and his offensive output because he's going to be solid on defense as being one of the big reasons the Tigers get this win.
He had a big game, and he did. He had a clutch three-pointer down the stretch. It was 42-32, and White County went on a 10-0 run, or 10-2 run, and they got it back to within 2. It was 44-42. And you felt kind of iffy about it, but that's when DeKalb, they didn't panic. They just did not panic. This was a team that just didn't fold,
They panicked like the last 30 seconds.
Well, maybe like
because as a coach, I was like, why are you making that pass? Just dribble the ball. You play keep away at that point, but that's coaching.
But they did hit some big shots down the stretch and just it came out with, I just think this is one of the best wins this basketball program has had in a while, based on how well White County have been playing, based on some of the adversity this Tiger basketball team has faced throughout the course of this season. We talked about it all year long. You can look at this record all you want to. They're 10-19. But you're 0-0 once the postseason rolls around. You got brand new life, and Kelly, it doesn't matter what you did those 28 games before. It's what you do tonight. DeKalb County made it count. Now the order gets a little taller tonight when they get Stone Memorial and Cade Caps again.
Well, but I thought they had a really good game against Stone. I understand that Stone's way of playing is he's running 5 or 6 kids in all the time, but sometimes that kind of messes you up with your rhythm. And I noticed, like, if you made a mistake, you were coming out, which the kids seem to be okay with that and they're used to that, but still it affects you being in a rhythm of playing basketball. That affected me as a player. I think it would seem to affect what plays you call and what you got people in positions that they're playing in. So I think DeKalb has a really good opportunity. Plus, they played last night and Stone did not.
Yeah, and it's been about a week since Stone has played,
and
or
we've
more.
Seen from even the college football playoffs, the teams that played in the first round were the teams playing in the championship round.
Mm-hmm.
The teams that got byes did not. So it gave them another opportunity to play on this floor, which I know Cumberland County, and it's not that huge of a travel for them. But I think DeKalb has a little bit of advantage. The only disadvantage they have is being tired.
Yeah.
Is physically. How about
that was my thing. I had two comments. One, you were talking about perhaps the biggest game in a long time. We'll go back and look at when's the last time they've been to the region. That's 2013. Any of those 12 years, 11 years, you get a fluke upset or whatever to kind of match what they did last night. The other thing is legs, and we look at NCAA tournament and the field of 64, and the hard part about that is playing 2 nights out of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And burning the energy that they did last night against White County, they're going to have to come back. And you just mentioned a minute ago, Tom, of shuffling the players in that Stone Memorial's going to do. We've talked about DeKalb's going to run 7, maybe 8 at the most. And I think it's going to be a time where Coach Agee really going to have to, reach a little bit deeper for 30 seconds here before a timeout or whatever, the end of the quarter, and get some people in there.
You kind of stole my thunder a little bit there, Coach. I agree with you because
Thank you.
My computer, why does it always want to restart when I'm in the middle of something? The thing is, you got to have a Chase Young for a few seconds. Elliott Barnes, he plays last night, but I think he's going to have to give you a few more minutes. You're going to have to rest your guys a little bit. Even like you said, even if it's just 30 seconds, every minute's going to count.
Well, and you have that discussion with Parker and Fusen. Sometimes you got to. It's so hard to teach this. Sometimes you got to know when to push it, and sometimes you got to know when to let your offense play some defense.
Mm-hmm.
And that being, if you can, there's no shot clock, so if you can hold the ball for 30 seconds, that's 30 seconds that Dallas, he may still be having to move, but he's not having to play defense. He's not having to sprint. He's not having, same for John, same for them handling the ball. If they can hold on to the ball for 30 seconds, that's 30 seconds you're not having to play defense. That's 30 seconds the other team is not scoring, and that's 30 seconds that you're giving yourself an opportunity to score, and you're making them play defense, so you're wearing them down. That's a mental thing. That's a coaching thing. I don't know how Coach Agee calls his stuff. I mean, sometimes kids play better just going and playing full out, and that may be what they have to do. But that is also an option. Sometimes let your offense play defense and know when to push it. If you've got numbers, you want to take it, you want to push it, you want to go get those 2 points. But if you don't have the numbers, learn to walk it down the floor, especially if there's no backcourt pressure, and let your post player get down there and get a breath for a second.
Sure.
You have to be able to do that, and you have to be able to take care of the ball. You can't have stupid, I love it. I can say stupid here. You can't have stupid turnovers, because with kids you can't say that. But you can't have those mental breakdowns where you throw the ball away in the middle of the floor and you're giving up 2 points. They need to play it cleanly, but I have all the confidence that they can go out and give them a good game and be in this game. Going to have free throws, going to have to take care of the ball.
Tom, you watched a lot of it last night. Was DeKalb using that half-court press that they used against Stone Memorial?
I didn't pay as much attention to that as I probably should have, to be honest with you.
And then my question comes back to Kelly is, the last time these two teams met, I thought DeKalb really disrupted the offense of Stone Memorial because of this half-court press. Now you have Stone Memorial who had the extra time. They're going to be able to prepare for that. Is there another wrinkle to that Coach Agee could spring?
Yes, like and you can still do the half-court press, change it up, just like move a couple players. But really and truly, I would go with what works until it doesn't work anymore, and then make a change. If I was Coach Agee, I'm sure he will. He'll probably come out in that changing defense up. If you do not have a really smart point guard that recognizes defensive changes, they're prepared to come down and run X defense or X offense. If they don't see that now they're in a man or now they're in a zone, you may get a good turnover over that. And so changing the defense constantly is, especially with the kids that they're running in and out, that will factor into them, and I think that kind of hurts them. I see the good part of it. You've got this many kids you can run in and out, but then you never can really get anybody in a rhythm and to know what's going on and to seeing stuff, because sometimes it takes 3 trips down the floor to see something that's open or see a spot to go to as an offensive player. I don't think they're getting that opportunity. They're really having to do it quickly, and the only person he really doesn't take out is, I don't remember his name. Caps. He's the only kid that never comes out. And they got into foul trouble last time. I thought everybody was hurt. DeKalb got some calls last night, y'all.
Yeah.
they got some calls. I understand, Dallas got, I think, an intentional foul, but he came back and he overcame it and he played through it and he had a good game after that. Maybe he just had to get it out of him. But, they got calls last night. Like the part I watched, they got some calls, and so nobody's complaining about that tonight.
Kelly, let me piggyback on the defensive end of that. You having seen Caps and the kind of player he is, and what DeKalb County did defensively last time, how do you game plan Caps? How do you defend him going into you've seen him twice now for you, DeKalb County. What do you think is the best way to defend someone like him?
I liked the half court that they did. I thought was really brilliant, because in a zone, he knows how to, in a 2-3 zone, he knows exactly where to go to, and he's going to get you off that jumper, or he's going to get a 3. In man-to-man, I don't feel like we have that dominant player. We don't have a player that can match up with him in height and physical. I mean, Dallas can match up with him, but he can't match up with him and then turn around and have to play offense as well. We don't have that. Like you said, like Seth's just not tall enough to do it and then and still contribute on the offensive end. I like a zone against him. I liked the half court because they kept trying to move him to the second level. The coach was seeing what was open, but he didn't have a point guard or another guard that could get him the ball.
Right.
And so I like a half court zone trap, matchup man, kind of whatever variants he wants to put on it, whatever he wants to call it. I think that's the best way to go. Now, they're going to have prepared, but guess what? They were probably preparing for White County.
Yeah.
Just because of the way
things have been going.
Well, the seating. The seating. They probably prepared for White County. So now they've probably come in today and had a shoot around to get ready for it. But I really liked the way DeKalb played that. I thought it was a great defense. It was a great call. I don't know if it was Coach Randolph or Coach Agee. Coach Agee made the decision, so he gets all the credit right there. But I thought it was a great defense to play against them, and I think it's one that they still need to use because it did disrupt their guard play, and they were not able to get the shots. They were still able to score, but a lot of their scoring was after they broke down and they got it across half court and moved the ball some. So
last time out, DeKalb started Hendricks, and I'm not sure how much of it was just pure man or like boxing one. It was hard for me to kind of distinguish between the two, but I think what got them out of that, other than some foul trouble, was the fact that they put up a double screen on Hendricks and like a high-low game, and then when the screener broke towards the rim, the confusion on the defense, and it was an easy 2 points.
Sure.
And so I thought that was great coaching by White County, and I thought it was a real quick adjustment by Coach Agee saying we can't do that anymore.
Well, and they've seen that. They have seen it's just like if you have the team. Now that's what people don't understand. As a coach, you have to coach with what you have. I remember Boeheim. He used to run a zone. He recruited kids that could run a zone. That's what he was going to run because he recruited the kids. When you coach in public schools, you don't get to recruit kids. You got to play with what you got.
Well, now that may not be the case much longer.
I completely understand that. But at the present moment, you've got to play with what you can. I'm sure that Caps has seen a boxing one since 6th grade. He knows how to play against a boxing one. And he's tall enough, he can see over it. It's not, unless you have a dominant person to match up with him, you're not going to stop that. He knows how to play that. Throw something at him he has not seen. I mean, like a great 1-3-1, if you have the capabilities of running it, would be another option because that's keeping somebody in the middle of the floor at all times. It's controlling your paint, and it's also taking away the three. But a 1-3-1, you've got to have the players to run it. I kind of think they could. I don't know if they've went over it enough. That might be a good defense to throw at him. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what his players know. You can only do what you know. You can only do it. And so I don't know. I really like the half court 2-2-1 was a really good defense, I think.
Do want to throw this out there, and Coach Agee called me last night, and I'm sure he called all the local media just to remind everyone the coaches could not make their mind up how they wanted to do this the other day. I had 3 different stories posted on Blitz, and by the time I got each one posted, Coach Agee sent me an update, but they finally got the schedule the way they wanted it, I guess. DeKalb County will play at 5:30 today at Crossville, 5:30 against Stone Memorial. So if you've seen any other variation of brackets and all that blah, blah, it's 5:30. They will play Stone Memorial at 5:30 today. The first game today will be at 4 o'clock, and that will be Cumberland County girls against Upperman. Cumberland County knocks off the Lady Tigers last night, 60-26, the final score. Avery Agee with 9 points in her final game as a DeKalb County Lady Tiger. Jordan Agee with 6 points in that game. Cumberland County could not miss. I mean, they came out, and I think it was 13-0 or something like 11-0 before DeKalb County finally scored. Van Vranken hit a 3 with 3:15 to go in the first period to finally get DeKalb on the board. Sydney Wilhite for Cumberland County. She had 20 in the first half, 15 in the second quarter. And the way Cumberland County, of course, they're on their home court, and that helps a lot. But the basket looked like it was that big around for them last night.
Sometimes I can remember my first game at Southern Miss. We played at Texas Tech, and we were not playing bad defense. They were throwing anything they threw up went in. I mean, they shot 90% from the floor of that game, and we were playing defense. We were. It was not that we were bad. They just were hitting. Of course, they were ranked number 6 in the country at that time, and we were not. But just kind of, it was first of the season game. They played us for a reason, but they couldn't miss. I mean, they couldn't miss. And when you're playing a team that can't miss, I mean, there's not a lot you can do about it. I mean, you're still hand in the face, playing good defense. Shooters are going to shoot.
So DeKalb County, Avery Agee, and again, I was just so happy to see her finish her career at home with the kind of game she had in her last game against Stone Memorial. Hated to see it go out with the loss last night, but she's been an outstanding player. She, of course, will be one of a couple of seniors moving on next year. And Kelly, when you look at what's coming back for DeKalb County, is this a team that's going to, you feel like, get significantly better next year and have a chance? The district is going to change, as we've talked about, with the changeover. Watertown's going to be tough. We kind of don't know about Central Magnet. Macon's been great at times. They've been lesser than at times. What do you see for the Lady Tigers moving forward?
I think they'll be, with the 4 teams, they're going to be in the middle of the road. Watertown, I feel like, is going to dominate that district just from what I've seen in the past. But they're beatable. I mean, they are. I don't know, again, like you said about Central Magnet. I think Macon County is kind of down, so it's kind of, they need to, they're kind of like the volleyball team. They need to get in the gym this summer, and the little things that, need to work on ball handling, need to work on and it's fundamentals. And I'm sure Coach Webb and I say Coach Bond, but softball, you have to start with fundamentals. And you, just because you know how to dribble and you've known how to dribble from 5 doesn't mean you can't work on dribbling and get better at it.
Yeah.
And just being, very confident in it. They have the potential to get better. They have some pieces. I don't exactly know what the middle school is sending. I know we're probably only sending maybe 1 kid. There may be 2 that try out. I haven't talked to the girls, but it's going to be a lot of what they had already on the floor this year. But they were fairly young, except for Jordan. Jordan was the only senior, correct?
Avery.
Avery.
Yeah. No, Caroline Crook.
Caroline. But Caroline
Didn't play a lot.
She didn't play a lot. This was her. She didn't even play last year. She came back this year. Caroline's just a social butterfly. She likes to be. She likes to be in the middle of something, and she'll tell you that. I'm not saying anything about her.
Sam's wanted to get her and Avery on this morning. Of course, it being the seniors, but we hadn't had a chance to talk to Caroline this year.
I should have reached out to her last night.
Well, you didn't,
I'm
Kelly.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you had, so I didn't.
It's all my fault. I do the scheduling, and I dropped the ball.
Well, but she's great. She's a great kid. She'll tell you. She's like, I just wanted to be in the middle. And she done cheer. And she'd hurt her arm and stuff. She actually said, she goes, I don't like to shoot. She's like, it hurts my arm too bad to shoot. Came in and hit those big free throws in that game. But, they have something to build on. They're going to miss Avery. Avery did a lot of ball handling for them. Somebody else is going to have to step up. Jordan's going to have to not get in foul trouble. Of course, we've been harping on her and her mama and I and everybody else has been harping on her that for years. But she's going to have to mature in that part of her game and not get into foul trouble. But they have, they all got good playing time this year. They have the experience. They just need to put the pieces together.
All right, when we come back, the Mount Rushmore of DeKalb County Sports. We've had several folks that have submitted theirs. Who is ours? We're going to talk about it. Yeah, Kelly's like, I didn't prepare for this.
I did, but not really.
No, Coach. Yeah, Coach is always ready. We're going to come back and discuss that next on DC Blitz, presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
It seems like the cost of everything is on the rise, but Erie Insurance can help make sure your auto insurance premium isn't one of them. Avoid rate increases with Erie Rate Lock. Even if you have a claim, your rates won't go up until you change a car, driver, or address.
Your Erie agent is DeKalb County Insurance. Get a quote today at DeKalbInsurance.net.
Erie Rate Lock is not available in all states. Other conditions and limitations at ErieInsurance.com. Go to ErieInsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
Hey, Sam! Who said that? Cheryl? What are you doing up there?
My bank always leaves me up in the air. I'm still waiting for an answer. Oh, darn birds.
Well, switch to First Bank. They have fast local decision makers and the latest banking products and digital.
Whew, what a relief. I'll call First Bank. When I was up there, I saw a branch near me.
First Bank never leaves you hanging. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
Prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Smithville's brand new hair experience is the Hairloom, located at 107 West Main Street, in the heart of downtown. At the Hairloom, we believe that every client deserves exceptional service and personalized care. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, a stunning color, or a rejuvenating facial, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at the Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Need your medications? Johnny's Drugs has got you covered. At Johnny's Drugs, we make sure you get the prescriptions you need when you need them. No more waiting around like you do at those corporate pharmacies. Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Whether it's a quick refill or some advice on over-the-counter remedies, our knowledgeable staff is here to help you feel your best. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
Kilgore's Restaurant, where great home cooking has been their passion since 1997. If you're looking for a delicious lunch, the hot bar at Kilgore's is served up daily with plenty of home-cooked choices. Tender meats paired with 2 or 3 of their signature sides, all served up hot and fresh. If you're in a hurry, call 615-215-8249 to place your to-go order. Hey, don't forget, Kilgore's isn't just about lunch. They are also open for dinner Monday through Friday. Kilgore's also offers catering for your special events. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home. Open Monday through Thursday from 10 until 9, Friday from 10 until 10.
Just like the excitement of the big game, life is filled with unforgettable moments. At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, we understand that when the final moment comes, you want to honor those moments with dignity and care. Whether you're celebrating a life well lived or finding solace in a time of grief, our compassionate staff is here to provide the support you need. Trust Love Cantrell Funeral Home to guide you through with respect and professionalism. Love Cantrell Funeral Home is a proud sponsor of DeKalb County Athletics through 3 generations. At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
When it's time to attack those outdoor landscaping projects, you want to go into battle with the tools that will help you get the job done right the first time. After all, your time is precious. When you're ready to go on the offensive, let Southern Landscape Supply get you armed with the best landscaping tools on the market. Southern Landscape Supply is the home of Bad Boy mowers, tractors, UTVs, and handheld tools. Bad Boy, with their legendary reputation for strength, performance, and value. Hustler mowers, DeWalt, Red Max, and Echo handheld power tools, specialty turf equipment, and more. Plus, they offer the best parts and second-to-none customer service. Ready to attack your landscaping project? Prepare yourself with the best tools at the best value. Visit Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville, or online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Tom Kelly, Coach Daniel Leslie, our producer. We're presented by DeKalb County Insurance. Hey, the spring sports season actually gets officially underway this upcoming Monday. Well, I guess, let me back up a minute. The Tiger baseball team is actually starting their 50-inning game at 1 o'clock this afternoon at the high school baseball field, soon to be the Joey Reeder baseball field. It's already on. Oh, it's already on the scoreboard. Hey. All right.
Are you going to do official ceremony?
Okay. So we're hoping there's going to be an official ceremony. And I saw Coach Reeder this morning. He was at the ham breakfast and getting his feel for. I'm sure. I know he's very humbled about that, but it's well deserved honor. And we'll get into that as we get into our Mount Rushmore here in a moment. But 50-inning game, and I think Daniel said, is it 21 innings today? Try to get 20. Okay, they're going to try to get 21. They might try to go to 28. So going out today and enjoy a little bit of baseball. Yes, it's cold. Put on a jacket. Quit being soft. You know what? People from Michigan, they laugh at us.
I know.
They laugh. We are. Okay, soapbox time. Hold on a minute. I got to get soapbox time. I get the school thing. Whatever. You know, I'm old man shaking my fist at a cloud. But if there wasn't snow on my road when I was a kid, we went to school. And I don't know
you
now.
Didn't have built-in snow days. But you also have to look at, there's a lot more kids that drive than when you were in school. I mean, like, it's just availability. The directors have to take in consideration.
More kids rode the bus when I went to school,
I know,
though.
that's what I'm saying, but that's what I'm saying. They're driving. They are personally driving, so then you're putting the safety of kids that don't always make the best decisions.
Well, I wanted to get away from school, though. I'm looking at all the businesses that are closing
I don't know about all that.
because there's an eighth of an inch of snow on the grass.
Well, the university's closing, and that's my big thing is Tech was closed Thursday.
Yeah. But they got more snow.
Never.
Well, that's true. They used to never. Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed Duke University and North Carolina both closed because of the storm that was coming in, and because I think Carolina played and they were like, the doors are open, come to the game, because they wanted people to be in the stands. And I know Duke was the same. They were closing at lunch because this one professor I follow on TikTok, he was talking about, he's like, I have an 11:45 class. I'm wondering who'll show up for 15 minutes because he was doing a little study. But I don't know. I guess people are soft.
When you're closing businesses because it's cold. Okay, so I'm saying people from the northeast, they come down here and they're like, are you serious?
Now, we went to Alaska this past summer, and there was a kid there, and he was from actually like somewhere in Tennessee, and he was working up there, and he was like, he goes, I will say this. He goes, people that have been to the lower 48 agree with me. It's when we have cold, it's a wet cold.
Yeah.
And he said it's not the same as cold in Alaska. Now he was referencing Alaska, not Michigan.
Right.
He said it's colder. He says because we don't have a wind chill. He said because it's dry, there's no moisture in the air, there's no wind chill. It's whatever the temperature is, that's what it is.
Yep.
He said when you're in the South, he said it could be 30, but you got a wind chill of 20. He said it's cold.
When I was in Denver a few years ago, and this is a great contrast, was in Denver about 5 years ago, and it was 15 below on the first morning I was there. And, you're right there in the mountains, and it's such a dry, cold. This time, or not this time last year, but I think last January, we officially hit 15 below here. And the 15 below here was actually much colder, and it hurt a whole lot more than 15 below in Denver, Colorado.
So we went to Hanover, New Hampshire to play at Dartmouth. I think it was my junior year. And we were up there, 2 feet of snow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which they had the roads cleared off, everything. 2 feet of snow, but we went for a shoot around, and everybody was like, "Oh, we better bundle up." Well, we were all like, "Oh gosh, it's." Of course, we were from Southern Mississippi. But we were like, oh, we didn't bring enough clothes, and we all had these like we had went and got winter jackets because we knew and all this. And we got up there and nobody wore their jacket because it wasn't as cold
right
as when it was cold when we left.
Yeah.
Like it was that wet, cold, and that's what we said. It was so much drier there. You didn't have that wind chill. It was just, it was 30 degrees. It wasn't 30 degrees with a wind chill.
I will say this, DeKalb County does an amazing job keeping the roads clear. And I'm talking specifically main roads, but even after a while, some of your side roads that may not be as traveled quite as much, they do a phenomenal job. You can take 70 and get to the Wilson County line.
And then you can't go nowhere.
And you can't go anywhere. But our roads are immaculate. I know a lot of people, the kids hate it because that just means we're one day closer probably to going back to school. But they do a wonderful job keeping the roads clear here. Wilson, Cannon, White, Warren, you other folks, get on board, man. Get your roads cleaned off, would you? Because some people, like my brother-in-law works in Wilson County. He got to Watertown the first morning it snowed, and
Pruitt Hill had all kinds
Pruitt
of
Hill, that was exactly where the people were having to turn around because they couldn't get through there and had to come back home from work.
Jake he works in Nashville, and so he leaves about 5 o'clock in the morning, and he said he was fine from DeKalb County or from, right there at Gordonsville or the Alexandria exit till he got to Lebanon. Because then when he got to Lebanon, it was just crazy. He said, and I had to do some He's like, I had to do some driving in that little car. He's like, I was all over the floor. But
yep. Coach is not chiming in. By the way, our weather forecast. Our weather forecast brought to you by Snowbird.
The first thing that comes to mind is a selection that we read, and it's called "To Build a Fire." And this guy is unprepared for cold, not severe cold, like 150 degrees below freezing cold.
That's cold.
Where the spickle freezes before it hits the ground from his tobacco juice. That type of cold, and that's all that came to mind when y'all were going through all that.
Y'all are gonna. Speaking of cold, you're gonna laugh, but this is a memory I'll never forget. When I was in, and actually it was in Estes Park, Colorado, at a B&B, a beautiful place out there. They actually had an outdoor hot tub, and an outdoor hot tub at 15 below zero feels amazing. But the 20-yard trek back to the house, when you breathe, the moment the breath leaves your mouth, it's like little snowflakes. It was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced. But yeah, hot tub felt great out in that cold air. 20 yards back to the B&B, not so much fun. Not so much fun at all. But anyway, I don't know what got us off on the weather. What I was getting to is the Lady Saints softball team is going to open their season on Monday. They've got games on Monday and Tuesday. They will be at home Monday at 5 o'clock. They will be at Cannon County Tuesday at 5 o'clock. So you got baseball today with the start of the 50-inning game at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Lady Saints softball coming up on Monday at 5 o'clock and Tuesday over in Woodbury at 5 o'clock. And the Tigerettes will have a softball play day over at Danny Bond Field also coming up next
I was supposed
Saturday.
to umpire today.
And
they canceled it.
Okay. All right. So
you have to look at this. You got kids out there with, I don't know why, but $300 or $400 bats with 10-cent swings. But they
wow, Kelly, just tell it like it is.
It was junior high, but Gordonsville was supposed to have a play day today, and they had called and asked me to work, and I was like, yeah, I guess I can. I was like, does it matter what I wear out there? Because I was just going to bundle up. And so they called me the other day, and they was like, it's canceled.
All right. We're going to talk about a topic, and again, I was kind of soliciting some ideas if we had to have a good old-fashioned bull session like we've had this morning.
You should have made Luke Willoughby come in this morning.
Well, he probably would have if I'd asked him, but he's in Nashville, so I don't know if he would have been able to come in or not. But he had a great idea of who would be on the Mount Rushmore of DeKalb County Sports, and we have a group text. We were throwing some stuff around, and some teams started to get thrown out. I started thinking, I'm thinking more individuals, like your actual Mount Rushmore. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of DeKalb County Sports? Now, for a lot of us, and me even, I've done some history research on DeKalb County Sports. A lot of pre-DCHS has been very hard to come by. And I know there were some great student athletes. I take in consideration of Mr. Gene Wyndham, who went on and was a great college football player, was a college football coach, was over at MTSU. I mean, he's somebody that stands out. Jimmy Earl, who went on and was a great basketball coach at Middle Tennessee State. These are people that it's kind of that would be considered if we had a little more knowledge, and that's on me for not. What are you doing, Coach?
Kelly borrowed my pen. I'm cleaning it off.
She don't have COVID.
I don't have nothing. I've taught for 21 years. I'm
I was looking for Germex, but I didn't see any.
I got totally distracted there. But anyway, there's a lot more history than we're probably going to be able to touch on this morning. So recency bias, we're going to see some of that in some of the posts that we talk about, and obviously so, because not everybody knows the full history of DeKalb County sports. I don't know the full history of DeKalb County sports. None of us do, and it'd be hard to find anybody that truly does. But for what we know, what we've studied over the years, we're going to come up with who we think of, and I want to throw out some names from our chat online and just get some thoughts on these. And I'll start down the bottom. I want to go to Justin Oakes because he had a good point. I go back to who the sports facilities are named after, and he puts the names of Danny Bond, Harold Luna, Joey Reeder, Dylan Kleparic, and Mike Braswell. Of course, that's 5. And Justin, you may have cut one out because we don't have the money to chisel one more face into the rock.
Yeah, they've been working on Crazy Horse for years. So.
See, yeah. So, but thinking about some of those names, I think that's a good starting point. If you've got something named after you, and Chop Jennings down at DeKalb West School has got that gym named after him. Let's point him out.
But are we going with coaches? Because all of those are coaches.
I think it's.
I mean, this one. That's like you have to kind of. What are you defining it as? I think Mount Rushmore is presidents.
Right.
Is what they drew from. They drew from a single category. Because I mean, they could have had founding thought. I mean, like if they would. So you kind of got to limit. Are we going with players or coaches, because there is a difference.
My thing is, you look at the people who have made the biggest impact. When you say DeKalb County sports, who instantly comes to mind? To me, that's my definition of Mount Rushmore. When you say DeKalb County sports, and again, for younger people, recency bias is going to play in, obviously, because that's what DeKalb County sports is to them.
I go back when this first kind of popped up, and I'm thinking comparable to NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay Packers, they're going to have Vince Lombardi as one of theirs.
Sure.
But you're not going to see a string of coaches up there.
Right.
If you go to UT, you're going to see Johnny Majors, but not so much as a coach as he was a runner-up to the Heisman Trophy.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to see the general? Yes, he's probably going to be there, but then you're also going to have like Majors and Manning and whoever else you want to throw on that fourth.
Pat Summitt.
And yes, absolutely, because then I started thinking, well, those are all males, and of course we're going to get into the females. I went overboard.
No,
I do this kind of stuff. I have 1, 2, 3, 4,
and you typed it out.
And I typed it out because I know I wouldn't remember it. But I've got 4 different categories where it was strictly players.
Okay.
Dylan Kleparic has the field named after him. He never played soccer at DeKalb County High School. It wasn't there. It didn't exist.
But he's worked hard and built a brilliant program.
He has. And so I've got a players, I've got a coaches, I've got a teams. I've got 3 categories.
Okay, let me throw some of the other names out here, and then we're going to get to what we think are our Mount Rushmores. William Starkey says, be hard to have this conversation without considering Greg Tubbs. That goes back to the player perspective. Greg was a fantastic baseball player, one of the best multi-sport athletes from DeKalb County, played in AAA baseball for many years, and also made it to the big leagues back in, William says 93. That sounds about right, because I believe it was Cincinnati. He was with the Buffalo Bisons, I know, for many, many years. And Greg still coaches baseball. He's over in Cookeville coaching baseball now, but what a career he had, and was just an athlete you always think of when you think of DeKalb County sports. Jeremy Haas throws out the names. Some of these we've heard: Danny Bond, Harold Luna, Mike Braswell, Joey Reeder, Bill Page. and Bill and Joanne. You talk about they never coached high school, but I didn't say DeKalb County High School sports. We said DeKalb County sports. And, Kelly, you know this for a fact. Where would softball in DeKalb County be without Bill and Joanne Page?
I mean, they contributed a lot. I played in that league a couple of years. They contributed a lot because they kept the league going, especially for girls' sports. They kept that league going. They invested in kids. Like, but Joanne coached a team, and she didn't even. I mean, Morgan's way younger than I am. Morgan wasn't even thought of. So I mean, like, they invested in kids when they didn't have anything. They didn't have any skin in the game. So with them doing that, with them keeping that league going, with them running that ball field and investing in these kids, Coach Bond reaped the rewards of having kids that were sound defensively. Yeah. Yes, we played slow pitch, but slow pitch defense and fast pitch defense, it's not a whole lot of difference. You're fielding a ball. They got those. They did a very good job of laying the groundwork for his programs. They got people involved in coaching. We used to have like 5 or 6 teams, and every team was competitive. It wasn't one team was just way better than the other. Now, you had a team that would end up being way better than the other because that coach invested in them, brought the players along. But for the most part, it was a good league. It was a good competitive league. So I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to. I guess you have to have your guidelines of what you're going to pull from. And for us to say all time, I don't.
It's hard.
But I mean, you look at DeKalb County Little League, which I know in Little League when I was a kid, that was. I mean, like I can remember Rice's Tigers. I mean, like it was a thing. Like,
yeah.
Which people didn't have as much going on, but everybody played Little League. Well, there was some really. I mean, like Coach Braswell even coached Little League at one time. We was talking about Rusty Webb. I can remember him coaching. I can remember some things in my childhood of coming up here and watch, which I didn't have brothers or sisters, so I didn't go to Little League unless we knew somebody playing, but my cousins and stuff played. Those people invested. So, I mean, like, there was the Little League team that went to the or won the state tournament.
Yep, 78.
So, I mean, like,
Mike Braswell was a coach on that team.
So, I mean, like, you have to look at, like, I really feel you almost have to pull, we'd have to have some kind of historian before we could, and this would be more than you could look at it one night on Facebook and come up with it.
This is probably going to be something we're going to discuss more than once on down the road. We got another day, and hopefully we'll have, all of us will have a little more time to do a little more history. We're sort of doing this flying by the seat of our pants, so to speak. Sheila Kirby brings up Waltine Parker, who coached cheerleading at DeKalb County High School forever, and I think they won a couple of won a couple of state championships. He won't brag, but Chris Vance coached a couple of state champions. Well, one who won twice.
I organized, and I've said that from day one. Right place, right time. That was a great group of athletes.
Sure,
male and female, because the girls' team went to state in 2006. The girls' team, I didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. I piggybacked.
But you have to look at it. You had the good sense to stay out of their way and not try to manage them. You, like you said, you organized, you knew, and you saw. Some coaches don't do that. Some coaches try to coach when sometimes they need to just let them go.
Yeah.
And that's brilliance on your part. So you have to take advantage for that because you knew enough to stay out of their way.
Thank you. But again, I do not know the difference between a slice and a power fade. So, I was at the right place, the right time, blessed with a lot of good athletes, and I've got some of them mentioned down because I break it down by sport or whatever. But Jim Alexander. You want to talk about somebody, if you're going to put a golfer on the Mount Rushmore, then put Jim Alexander, who not one of the first teams, but a golfer here that kind of revived it a little bit, coached it, was out at Riverwatch, and then played on a circuit out in the southeast United States. put him up there.
Let's throw some other names out, and then we're going to get into ours. Helen Lee was a great player. In fact, that would be Smithville High School prior to consolidation in 1963. Was on that 1959 state tournament team that lost to Porter in the state championship by 1 point. 1 point. That's how close they came to winning a state title. And Helen came back and coached girls basketball in DeKalb County for many years, taught, was a guidance counselor. I know that don't factor necessarily into sports, but when I look at somebody that came home and made an impact, Helen Lee definitely stands out there. Marianne Puckett, who had a great high school basketball career, was recruited to and went to Duke, I think, for a year. Finished her basketball career over at Belmont. Payne Denman, two-time state golf champion. You got to throw Payne out there. Now at the University of Tennessee, has done some great things. Lucas Bain throws out, and again, Lucas being a younger person, some names that when I go back and look over the past 15, 20 years, these are definitely players to me that stand out. Hunter Poteet, Stephen Jennings, Isaac Knowles, Colby Barnes, had some great years running the ball, and I think Colby now is not the all-time necessarily, but single-season rushing leader for the DeKalb County Tigers. Poteet was the quarterback coach. You and I remember the turnaround. I mean, Coach Trapp in his first 3 years, they were 3-27. That special team of Poteet, Abram Edwards, and all them in 2009, that turned the tide of the football program, and they've had some pretty good success since then.
They really have, and it'd be difficult, and I think we've talked with Coach Trapp about his 20-year all-Tiger team.
Yeah.
The Tiger Pride team, whatever he's going to call that. And that's going to be tough because, you're looking at 3 or 4 different possibilities at quarterback alone.
Yeah.
Because we've had, Lucas Phillips on there, Stephen Jennings, Hunter Poteet. And then if you want to go back through the 80s and the 70s and prior to that, where I'm blank, it's going to be a very tough decision, and I think some of these guys you're going to see that, yes, I'm not going to put him at quarterback because I'm going to be able to put him over here at strong safety or free safety.
William Starkey also chimed in on this, and I think that may be Casey Midget's burner account.
It is.
We can't forget the all-time leader of Saturday morning Saints basketball. Casey, we're gonna have to research that.
We need to get Coach Brazel in here and ask.
Well, Casey brought that up. I think we had Coach Brazel, and I
kind of deferred.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to get into it. But we need some facts on that. But all right, let's get to ours as we have it now. And again, this is something that'll evolve, and at some point we're working on hopefully having an actual sports Hall of Fame soon. And to me, the people we're going to be mentioning are probably at some point shoe-ins to be DeKalb County Sports Hall of Famers. But if somebody said you got to name 4 people, contributors, coaches, players, whatever, to be on the DeKalb County Mount Rushmore as of today, right now, with the little time we've had to prepare, Coach, what do you think?
You want all 4?
Let's do one. We'll do one at a time. How about that?
Okay, when I think DeKalb County women's basketball, a lot of names come to mind, and a lot of girls that had a great career, whatever. But I'm just going to kick it off to boys a little bit as well, because I'm going to put Red Foster up there as a player. And I know that he struggled as a coach here, but I don't put that on him. I think he did a heck of a job because I've watched many games and how he coached, and I think his was more a lack of cumulative talent than it was a knock on his coaching ability. So my first one is Jerry Red Foster.
Well, who we were playing
has a lot to do with that too.
Oh yeah,
he was playing. He was coaching at that time. He was coaching in a district where either Jackson County or Livingston was winning the state tournament every year.
Yes, loaded teams. Absolutely loaded. And the district's always been tough, but I think the year before Jackson won 4 in a row, Livingston beat Jackson in the state championship. So there's 2 teams from your district, and I think the year after Jackson won 4 in a row, Livingston won again, and then Upperman was in there a couple of times.
Upperman was never in there with Coach Foster coaching.
But during that run they were.
But somebody from the Upper Cumberland area won in either single A or double A. You have to remember we were just single A and double A then. because Jackson County fell down to single A.
Yes.
And so Livingston regained its dominance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he was kind of in. He came in. Coach Quarter retired, which sometimes coaches retire when they know the talent pool has ran out. So he came in after Coach Quarter. I had him for all 4 years of my school, but he did play overseas. Very knowledgeable, very good. He was also a really good baseball player.
Yes, he was. Yeah, people don't ever give him the recognition for that, but he was, and his son was a great baseball player too.
I think he probably could have went in baseball just like he did in basketball.
Yeah. All right, Kelly.
Well, I have Helen Lee.
Okay.
Because when she played, it was 3-on-3, but she was probably her and Betty Carroll. You kind of have to. They're like the Yankees, the asterisk, because it was 3-on-3, and most people don't even know what 3-on-3 was. But I just go with Miss Helen Lee.
What gives you the nod over Betty Carroll Fike?
I had a relationship with Helen Lee. She was my guidance counselor. I knew her. I've seen the game, the old video. I have seen it. So I just, and I've always remembered everybody. I'm going on what knowledge I obviously wasn't around and didn't see it. That's what people have always said is how good of a basketball player she was. So I'm going on what the talk of the town, and this was, the talk of the town 25 years ago.
See, I was kind of haggling back and forth, and I was getting Cheryl involved. She grew up here. She knows beyond my knowledge, obviously, on a lot of this stuff. And Connor was in the background kind of easing in, and every now and then Asher would throw out an idea. Asher's my 3-year-old But, I think the idea of her coming back to coach, and I know that Betty Carroll Fike did not do that, and so forgetting that, because I remember when she was coaching, so I would agree. I think that would give her, on my Mount Rushmore, a little bit of a nod over Betty Carroll Fike.
My first pick is going to be, to me, a slam dunk, and it's Mike Braswell, because the fact he coached the Saints for 25 years, you can talk about that in itself being enough, but we learned something when we interviewed him a few weeks back. He was the first coach of the Saints football team that I didn't even know about that back in, I think, 72. He coached Little League, was a coach on the 78 Little League team that won the state championship. Saturday morning Saints, and how much of an impact that had on so many kids who were part of teams and even some who weren't part of teams that had something to do. And to this very day, though he's been retired from active coaching for years now, Mike Braswell still takes time to work with young people, young basketball players, to help them, to nurture them. And he's a father/grandfather figure to so many people in DeKalb County. You cannot say DeKalb County Sports and not say Mike Braswell. To me, he is an absolute slam dunk to be on the Mount Rushmore of DeKalb County Sports, in my opinion.
I completely agree.
All right.
Bring it back.
I was going to say, how do we want to do that? So my next pick is going to be Coach Harold Luna. And a lot of people will sit and say, well, Coach Luna this, Coach Luna that. Coach Luna won 500 basketball games, And I know a lot of the people will talk about off the court stuff. I don't care about that, okay? The man didn't kill anybody. The stuff that he may have done back in the day, maybe he wasn't the best classroom teacher. A lot of coaches have never been the best classroom teacher. Let's put all that other stuff aside. He was an active part of golf, baseball, tennis, getting these programs started, not just being around them. He helped get these programs started at DeKalb County High School, won 500 games, coached Little League, worked with a lot of young people. You mentioned Jerry Foster. Jerry Foster would break down talking about Harold Luna and how much that he meant to him. So in that way, like Coach Braswell, Coach Luna was a father figure to a lot of these young men who maybe were seeking somebody that they didn't have in their lives. And for all you want to criticize about Harold Luna, about some things he might have done in his own personal life, take a look at what he did accomplish both as a coach and as a human being during his lifetime. I hated to see the way he was treated in his last years. I love the fact they put his name on the court. They should have put it on the gymnasium. He deserves that. I wish he'd been around to see that, but you can't mention DeKalb County Sports in any way and not mention Harold Luna.
I agree, and I always get tickled at the people, and Coach can attest to this. Yes, I'm a teacher, and yes, the county pays. I hate that, and I don't, but I hate that people are like, well, you're held to a higher standard. Why? You work at the bank that handles my money and my paycheck. Why aren't you? I mean, like, and I'm not picking on bankers or anything. I'm just saying people want to criticize other people. Yes, he might not be the best classroom teacher. When you're coaching 4 sports and you're trying to get a game plan together during your middle of your season, which, let's face it, basketball runs pretty much the whole school season, you're probably not going to be the best teacher during your sports season because you're concentrating on that job as well. Is that right? No, but I mean, we ain't got a whole lot of kids that went to Harvard out of here. I mean, if you're smart, you're smart, and you're gonna. I don't know. I just don't agree with people criticizing what coaches and teachers do out on their personal time.
Yeah,
it's called personal time, and if you want to get real, I mean, somebody can probably. I've always used this analogy: don't point a finger because you got 3 more pointing back at you.
Yes,
and just because he may have. I don't even know what people have said about him. I've never really heard anything bad, but if he did something, if he said something, if he acted some way, you know what? Everybody should be given some grace. The only person in this world that's never done anything wrong is Jesus Christ.
Amen.
And guys, he didn't coach basketball.
Well, let me say this.
Sport.
It took 40 years to finally put Harold Luna's name on something, and his death along with it. People have murdered people and not been exiled for 40 years. I just think it's ridiculous. I mean, I had a lot of conversations with Coach Luna. Came to love the man, thought the world of him. No, he had his faults. I have my faults. I've done things I'm not proud of. I could preach a sermon on that. But again, with Jesus Christ, there is forgiveness. Okay? Now, if Jesus can forgive you, everybody else should be able to forgive you too. And I just think he's just gotten a bad rap over the years. And some people are actually bitter about it. And that's what's sad. All right, Kelly, let's get past all that. It's time for your second pick on Kelly's Mount Rushmore.
Okay, so I'm going back with basketball. I'm going with Rosa Stokes.
Okay, that's a great one.
I never saw her play. I met her. I probably saw her play, but I was too young to remember. But I met her when she was coaching at Cumberland. She came from very humble beginnings. I know I'll tell this story. I don't think she'll care. Lisa Jennings was telling me about Rosa was a senior when Lisa was a freshman. And Lisa's dad taught Rosa how to drive a 5-speed. And he paid he gave her the car, paid for it, so that Lisa would have a way home.
Wow.
From practice and to and from practice, But he did that. He did that for his child.
Sure.
But you think about how much he entrusted his child.
Sure.
With somebody else to take her to school to make so she could have an opportunity. But it gave her an opportunity as well because he knew how good she was. And she was. She was just the nicest person I've ever met. I can remember her. Coming back. Dad coached her a couple years. I think maybe just one. But she was always so kind to him. And like I said, I never really saw her play, but I just remember it's like Helen Lee, the talk of the town.
Yep.
Was her. And I guess I'm just going with the girls because I know the girls. But I feel like Rosa Stokes. I'm more with players than coaches.
Sure.
Because my experience with coaches was not vast. I had my dad as a coach. I had Coach Foster as a coach. I had Coach Bonds as a coach. That's all the dealings I had with coaches. And I remember Coach Braswell from when Dad coached, so I agree with him. I do not remember Coach Luna, so I can't. And like I said, I don't remember them, but nobody's really ever. People have talked to me about them, and it's probably because I'm a female that they've talked to me about them, and because I play basketball. But that's who I'm going with.
We're going to get Coach's second pick, and then we're going to come take a break, and we're going to come back with our last two each. But Coach, who you got second?
And you've been, spitting out the females, which is great. I've got females on my list. It's not that I'm profiling or whatever. And of course, we'll get back to it. I'm going to throw out a two-face coin from the Batman series because there's two sides here. I am going to flip the coin and decide which one that I want. I've already made that decision. But I go back in to me now, DeKalb County High School is a football school. Mm-hmm. Just the success that Coach Chief Trapp has had over the past 20 years, past 17 years. And two faces come to mind, and one is Hunter Poteet that you've mentioned earlier. My second is Stephen Jennings. So those two sides of my coin there. Because of what Stephen Jennings is able to do with baseball as well, I'm going to put him on my Mount Rushmore for that sole purpose, because I know Hunter is still – he's giving back. He's at the middle school. He's coaching, and they had a tremendous season this past year. So, he's given back what was given to him. But, first thing that came to mind on football would be Hunter Poteet. Mm-hmm. And then it's like Stephen Jennings. I mean, he's right there with him, and I don't know if one's a nose in front of the other. And then what tipped the scale for me was Stephen Jennings with baseball. Yeah. So I can kind of double up.
All right. We're going to squeeze a break in as Daniel's running off with food. And we come back, we're going to have our last two selections for our individual Mount Rushmores for DeKalb County Sports. And we've got any more comments, we'll throw some other names out as well. This is DC Blitz. We're presented by DeKalb County Insurance.
Teamwork, accountability, honesty, showing respect, dependability. These are all qualities that I began learning as an athlete growing up in DeKalb County. Hi, this is Tennessee Assistant Golf Coach Payne Denman. Whenever you're looking for a teammate that has your back, look no farther than my friend Grant James and the team at DeKalb County Insurance. They can help out with all your business, auto, home, life, or Medicare insurance needs. Give them a call today at 615-597-0660 or visit them at www.decabinsurance.net. Tell them I sent you, and as always, go Vols.
When closing on a new home or piece of property, you want the process to be as smooth as possible. For almost 20 years, DeKalb Title LLC has been helping new property owners in Smithville and DeKalb County through that process promptly and efficiently. As your trusted title expert and closing company, they believe buying or selling real estate should be a joyous occasion, and their team does everything possible to keep it that way. DeKalb Title works to make sure your transaction gets to the closing table and your new property is secure for years to come. Let DeKalb Title help you close and protect your residential, commercial, or new construction transaction today. Call 615-597-2303 or visit them online at DeKalbTitle.com.
As first-time home buyers, navigating the real estate market can be both exciting and daunting. At Farmhouse Realty, we understand your unique needs and are dedicated to guiding you through the process with ease. With our extensive knowledge of DeKalb County and its surrounding areas, we can help you find your dream home or sell your existing property at the best possible price. Farmhouse Realty is committed to understanding your financial situation and goals, finding the perfect home that aligns with your lifestyle, negotiating the best terms for your purchase or sale, and being there for you every step of the way. Give us a call today at 615-597-FARM. That's 615-597-3276, or check out our listings at farmhouserealty.org. Farmhouse Realty. Let us help you achieve your real estate dreams.
Hey, Sam!
Who said that? Cheryl? What are you doing up there?
My bank always leaves me up in the air. I'm still waiting for an answer. Oh, darn birds.
Well, switch to First Bank. They have fast local decision makers and the latest banking products and digital.
Whew, what a relief. I'll call First Bank. When I was up there, I saw a branch near me.
First Bank never leaves you hanging. Bank local. Get more. Member FDIC.
prompt, professional, and courteous healthcare services. That's what you find when you visit Good Health Family Clinic, 414 East Broad Street in Smithville. When you're on the go, you can't afford to be sick. The staff at Good Health Family Clinic is committed to getting you back on your feet and feeling better as soon as possible. They are locally owned, so you know you're being helped by people from right here at home, who you know and trust. Good Health Family Clinic accepts most insurances and is currently accepting new patients. Call to schedule an appointment, 615-597-4432. Good Health Family Clinic. Your family's good health is our mission.
Smithville's brand new hair experience is the Hairloom, located at 107 West Main Street, in the heart of downtown. At the Hairloom, we believe that every client deserves exceptional service and personalized care. Whether you're looking for a fresh cut, a stunning color, or a rejuvenating facial, our experienced team of licensed barbers, cosmetologists, and estheticians is here to make your vision a reality. Step into our relaxing and friendly environment where you can unwind while we pamper you. Your comfort and satisfaction are our top priorities. Give us a call at 615-417-1081 or book your appointment online at thehairloom.com. Experience the hair journey you've been waiting for at the Hairloom, where your beauty blooms.
Impact Physical Therapy is a direct access, cash pay physical therapy clinic, which means your care is provided one-on-one by a doctor of physical therapy, tailored to you and your needs. Whether it be injury, performance, or generalized health improvements, a plan is developed to improve your overall health, mobility, and strength safely and without injury. Another benefit of direct access is if injury does occur, you can immediately seek out care for an evaluation and treatment, potentially that day or the next day, without having to wait for a doctor appointment. Impact Physical Therapy, located at 656 West Broad Street in Smithville, inside Vitality Fit. For an appointment, call or text 615-464-7479.
Do you ever get tired of long waits at the corporate pharmacy? Well, let me introduce you to your hometown hero, Johnny's Drugs. Located at 516 West Main Street in Smithville, Johnny's Drugs is all about friendly service and efficiency. Our team knows your name and understands your needs because we're not just a pharmacy, we're your neighbors. Experience the warm, welcoming atmosphere that only a hometown pharmacy can provide. Johnny's Drugs, where friendly faces and efficient hometown service come together.
When you've been in business for over a quarter century, you know you're doing something right. And they've been doing things right at Kilgore's Restaurant since 1997. When you ask people around town about the best place to eat, you can bet the name Kilgore's will be mentioned. From their amazing chicken to juicy steaks, fresh fish, succulent shrimp, hearty burgers, or flavorful pork chops, Kilgore's has something for everyone. Don't forget their hot bar at lunchtime, Mondays through Fridays, then bring the family back for dinner. They are open from 10 until 9 Mondays through Thursdays and 10 until 10 on Fridays. If you're on the go, you can phone in your order at 615-215-8249, then pick it up at their convenient drive-through window. Come on down to Kilgore's Restaurant, where every meal feels like home.
At Love Cantrell Funeral Home, we understand that this life is a journey filled with highs and lows. Just as every game has its final whistle, so too does every life have its final moment. When that time comes, Love Cantrell Funeral Home would love the opportunity to earn your trust. We provide compassionate care and professional services to fit your family's financial needs. Whether you're celebrating a life well lived or finding comfort in the time of sudden loss, we're here to support you every step of the way. Love Cantrell Funeral Home has been a proud sponsor of all DeKalb County athletics for over 65 years. Love Cantrell Funeral Home, where love is not only in our name, but also in our services.
Ranger brake offers made in the USA, assembled in the USA, and world-sourced brake lines so that they can meet all levels of market demand. That helps them maintain a good, better, and best approach to giving customers the options they need to succeed with ease. Ranger Brake has a second-to-none qualifying process which ensures each and every product is certified before it's actually sold in the USA. By providing qualified products that are tested in the USA, Ranger Brake is doing their part to keep it safe out on the roads. Ranger Brake, proud supporters of all DeKalb County athletics.
Smithville FBC is proud to support DC Blitz and all DeKalb Sports. We have a place for you to call home on Sunday mornings and Wednesday night. We have nursery available. Pre-K through 5th graders are welcome to join Faith Kids. 6th through 12th graders are welcome to join FBC students, and everyone's outside of that is welcome to join all of our adult ministries. We meet Wednesday nights at 6, and Sunday morning small groups begin at 9 with worship at 10. Join us at Smithville FBC. It's a place to call home.
Bad Boy Mowers' legendary reputation for strength, performance, and value is now available with Bad Boy tractors. From mid-size to subcompact models powered by 22 to 35 horsepower water-cooled diesel engines, your tractor work just got real easy. On the farm, the ranch, or even around the house, Bad Boy tractors deliver power and durability all day, every day. Bad Boy tractors work with an attitude. Find your big boy tractor at Southern Landscape Supply, 611 Rich Froning Way in Cookeville. Visit them online at thesouthernlandscapesupply.com.
Man, that changes my whole deal.
We just threw Coach a curveball here. DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County.
Go on.
Okay, well, we'll discuss. Let's discuss it on air then, since we really didn't make our mind up off air. We had decided, we all picked our names, and then as we got to doing this, we thought, well, should they all be different? Kind of like a draft, I guess. I mean, it's all right, so do you want to do it as a draft where we all pick something different, or is it all right if we pick the same one? Because I've got Helen Lee, but I could go a different direction.
Well, see, I had Coach Foster, so I could go. I mean, like, that's what I was asking him. It all started. I was like, who is yours?
Okay.
So I could think of somebody else.
And Coach, how do you feel, Coach?
I'm okay. I liked how we were doing it, and now you're going to change the rules.
No, we're not changing the rules.
Okay.
Who is your person? Just tell us who your person is.
And you can do the same one. We'll just leave it as we've been doing it.
I don't care. I don't want to be the crybaby in this.
No. You're not the crybaby.
I do want to go back because this may be something that neither one of you know. Is that from 70 and 71, probably 72, I'm not sure what happened there. And back in 83, Harold Luna was the golf coach.
Yeah, I knew he was a coach at one time.
And then Mike Braswell was the golf coach in 84.
I didn't know that.
Is what I've got on that. So, they kind of bleed over in that direction. I'm going to punt my third one because I think that's where you're going to go with your next pick. Okay. DeKalb County has become a school on a lesser sport level known to be as a golf school.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that in mind, two-time state champion, individual on his own. I have nothing to do. Nothing at all.
You managed.
Hotel rooms in Murfreesboro. That's my contribution.
There you go.
Okay? I did that. But Payne Denman is on my Mount Rushmore, period, bar none.
He was on my second team, Mount Rushmore.
And he was a really good basketball player. I don't know that he played. Did he play? I know he played in junior high. He was really good.
He played in high school. I don't know that he played all 4 years. I can't remember that.
I do think
he may
did.
have.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I mean,
he was a pretty good basketball
player. He was a really
player.
good shooter, and he took his golf skills to basketball, where he thought he could think things. He could think 2 or 3 steps ahead, like you have to play in golf.
All right, we got to speed this up because Daniel's got to go. They got baseball, and we'll talk about this all day. But this is a topic we're going to bring back for sure. Once we've done a little more research and we get some more public feedback, we'll have another slow Saturday at some point. And this is a great, fun topic to talk about. All right, Kelly.
I'm okay. So Randy Jennings, and again, he played basketball. He played baseball. He went on to play at Cumberland. He's come back to our county, and he is an administrator in our county. He was a principal he's a teacher at the DeKalb West. He was a principal for at the middle school. He's now in the central office. But I can, again, remember stories about, I had to go a lot on what my dad, like conversations that my dad and I have had.
Your dad knows a lot about DeKalb County sports history.
He just talks about, it's kind of like Coach said a few minutes ago, but like Hunter and Stephen, Randy and Kyle were probably 2 of Dad's favorite players to coach, because he talked about you really didn't have to coach them. You just kind of turned them loose, and they knew enough on the floor that he didn't have to do anything. So those make coach. But I would say Randy Jennings for he went on to play, college baseball. They won a national title. And he probably, I don't know if he holds any records, and I don't know that he played if he played football or not. I kind of don't think he did, but he was a very good basketball player, very good baseball player.
Played college baseball, of course, a great athlete. I actually can remember him playing at the West School, and he wasn't big as a minute, but boy, he could just flat run and handle the ball. He was a brilliant basketball player, and was even better at baseball. It's what's really scary. Great selection there. We've already talked a little bit about him. Danny Bond was initially on my Mount Rushmore, and he again makes my second team Mount Rushmore right at the top because of almost 700 victories on the softball field and 256 more victories in basketball as a coach, and was a great player as well. I stepped him down for one reason, because without Bill and Joanne Page, Danny Bond doesn't win as many softball games as he did. They were the pioneers of girls softball in DeKalb County, and I know for the most part it was slow pitch for a long time, but they were the ones that were instrumental in really getting softball going in DeKalb County. And if I put Coach Bond there, it would be more for his softball, even though he did a great job with basketball. And I can't put him there if I don't put Bill and Joanne Page there, because of all the impact they had for many, many, many years in DeKalb County. So my third pick is going to be Bill and Joanne Page. And, well, if we're going to do it different, now I've got to think a little bit, because, like I said, I did have Helen Lee on mine, and I gave her a little bit of a nod over Betty Carroll Fight because of the fact she came back and contributed so much. So I'm going to shift a total different gear here and keep mine totally different. And I'm going to go with Coach Joey Reeder in baseball and football, and for the fact he was an excellent football player, and all he's done, classroom teacher, has worked Board of Education, and again, I know I'm getting off field with stuff, but when Coach Reeder said the story was true, that they stopped on the bridge and threw a second-place trophy into the lake, that goes to show you how good his teams were at DeKalb County High School in baseball. Joey Reeder gets my number 4. Kelly?
Okay, so I'm going to get a lot of probably hate mail on this.
You can't nominate yourself.
No, I'm not. I would never nominate myself. But I'm going to say my dad.
Yeah.
He coached at the West School. He coached football at
middle
school. Coach Bond used to run a basketball camp. He did that. He taught for 35 years. And when he quit teaching, he went on the school board. He's still backing programs, and he's supporting teachers. He came back. He did. He played for his freshman year of basketball, and he would have to hitchhike home.
Wow.
Well, there was. It was after school.
Sure.
And so, I don't know, I think he kind of did that a couple times, and he made the decision to quit basketball. And as we've heard with Coach Luna, if you quit, you don't get to come back.
Yep.
And he said, he goes, I did not fault Coach Luna for that. He goes, I made a decision, and I had to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
And, but, you know what you know, and I've known him my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And he has really done a lot. Now, he would probably say absolutely not. But, I look back at, if you didn't have Coach Braswell and Daddy, then Coach Luna and Coach Bond don't have as good of boys teams.
Sure, that's
as
true.
they did.
Yeah.
Dad coached girls for the longest too.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent Coach Quarter girls that could play baskall, all the time. I mean, he talks about, Miss Jamie Vickers that works at the school board. He's like, she's not very tall. He was like, but she listened and she did what he's just there's so many relationships he's had over the 40 something years he's been in education. It's probably more than 40 years, but, I just have to pick him. Sorry.
Okay. No, I think that's a great pick. That's a great pick. Absolutely. All right, Coach, you get the last one.
I'm going to run through some names that I would put on honorable mention that I think they deserve being mentioned across the board in sports, that even though they may be lesser sports. Girls golf, It'd be a toss-up between Shay and Mallory. Sullivan's at the time. Went with Mallory because I think she finished higher in the state than what Shay did. And I think Chloe Boyd's just going to, wreak heaven on all that stuff. Cristobal Flores, you cannot think of boys soccer without thinking of Cristobal. Coach K will tell you to the day that he is the best player that's ever come through that program. Sophie Hackett on the girls' side. Ella Van Vranken, cross country in the track and that she did with Erin Gottlieb doing all that.
Oh, yeah.
I would like some help and feed me because I cannot think of this girl's name. Former student of mine, 2-time, I think, state champion in the high jump. Cannot think of her name. Folks out there, help feed me on that. Get this online. My final pick is going to be a name that's come across our chart quite a bit, and I thought you were going to go this direction. It didn't. It's Greg Tubbs.
Yeah. Great. It's hard to not talk about DeKalb County Sports and not mention Greg, as we mentioned earlier. Played many years in AAA, played for the Buffalo Bisons, got a cup of coffee in the major leagues. He got more than a cup of coffee. He got a latte and an espresso for a little while, playing with the Reds. And, Greg was just a tremendous multi-sport athlete at DeKalb County High School back in the 70s. A lot of the younger generation may not remember him, but he's also coached a lot of players. Again, he coaches over in Cookeville, I know, but he's worked some travel teams. He's done a lot of great things. Greg Tubbs is a great selection. Some other names that I think that may have made an honorable mention for me, Waltine Parker, for all that she did with cheerleading, state championships. She almost got my last spot there. I was just really back and forth. I mentioned Coach Bond and all the success he had. Softball, basketball as well. Payne Denman was right up there for me. Betty Carroll Fight. It's just hard not to put Betty Carroll out there as well for as great a player. Played 2 years at Liberty, 2 years at DeKalb County. Let me relay, and I know we've got to go, but I've got to tell this story that Coach Luna shared with me once about it might have been the first year that he had Betty Carroll on the team. I think it was 64-65. That was the last year they went to state before the team went in 2019. But Red Boiling Springs had a great girls basketball team, and DeKalb wanted to play them, and it might have been an exhibition. I think, if my memory serves me, they had a Harlem Globetrotters type team coming in to do a fundraiser, and they wanted like a opening act, so to speak, and so they were going to have a girls exhibition. And Coach Luna calls up the coach at Red Boiling Springs, and the coach tells him, "Coach, you don't want to play us. We'll embarrass you. We're good. We're state champs, blah, 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 all this." And, of course, Coach Luna knew he had Betty Carroll Fight. So Red Boiling Springs comes down, and I don't remember what the score ended up being, but it was an utter embarrassment that DeKalb County put on Red Boiling Springs, and Betty Carroll had 40, 50 points in the game. And again, it was a 3-on-3. I know it was a lot different game back then. A lot of people said it was a lot tougher game back then based on the way it was played, but Betty Carroll had set a state tournament record at one time of 50 points in a state tournament game. Just the things that she was able to do. You talk to people like Eddie Hobson, who remembers her in her young days, and Eddie would tell you she came out and played with all the guys and was as good or better as most of the guys that were playing basketball at the time. And if you equate what she was able to do in today's terms, she's probably a Division I college type level.
Sounds a lot like Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, she was just a beast on the basketball court. Of course, Betty Carroll got out of basketball after that, and really, she's still alive. She lives in Nashville, and I've had the honor of talking to her a few times, but she's kind of distanced herself from back in those days. But, man, it's just hard not to throw her out there. When you really start talking about it, there are a lot of options.
Well, and we talked about, that's why I ask, is there a distinction? Because some of your coaches are good coaches because they've had good players come through.
That's very true.
And so you can't have, I'm sure we've got some coaches that, that's just like Coach Foster. Coach never really had a winning season, but he was a good coach.
Yeah.
It just didn't match up with what we were playing. And so, I think about, we was talking about Coach Bond. Coach Bond was so good. But then I think about the girls that played. Coach Bond's scheme of the game and teaching us how to play and the way he played. But we had to do it so that's why I said, I wish when the next time we do this, let's designate a certain sport or let's designate a
Specific kind of category, player, coach.
You got to make it a challenge, Kelly.
Yes, I know, but I mean, like, I feel like, I'm sitting here and I'm like, girls softball, for the longest, this county was known for girls softball.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even baseball. It was softball, because softball was the one going to regions, going to state every year.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And, you know, it's kind of changed, but over the course of the year, it was over the course of, since its beginning and since then, they've probably had more state tournament appearances than any other sport, including the way that golf has come now. They've had more representation at the state, but I didn't mention a single one because it was a team. It was team. It wasn't a I can remember, Amy Barnes, Kim Frazier, Kim McCoy,
Rachel Evans.
Evans. I mean, like, all of these players were good softball that Joanne and Bill invested in. I mean, like, I can remember those things. And there's other players that were good as well, that I am forgetting. And some of them, I know their face, I don't know their name, just from watching them. But so that's why I said it's so hard to do this, because, what are our baselines? Like, Mount Rushmore, I said, was presidents, and it was presidents before a certain time because of when Mount Rushmore was built. It's kind of hard to do this, and you've got people that know. Like, I want to know where you find all those stats,
Coach Diggs.
But there's things like that we have to look at. You don't want to leave anybody out. I think that's why it's so hard for some of these coaches to come in and say, well, I don't want to name a certain person because you're going to leave somebody else out. Yeah. And, and when you're talking about teams, coach can talk about golf. He can say Payne Dimon because it was an individual sport. It was all on Payne to do. But when you talk about football, when you talk about basketball, you're playing with 5, 8, 25 kids. It takes all of them to win a game. And so if we left you out, we're sorry.
We got to wrap this up. Daniel's got to go. I'm going to post these online. We want your votes. Who had the best of the Mount Rushmore draft? And give us yours. We want to hear yours too. So I'll have a post on this a little bit later on. Like I said, pick the one you like best of our draft and give us yours too. And we'll talk about this topic again later on. Time to go, y'all. Thank you all for tuning in for this week's edition of DC Blitz presented by DeKalb County Insurance. For Daniel, Coach, Kelly, I'm Tom Duggan. We'll see you next week.